welcome to Gear Gyan with me, Sahil Jagtiani, where we talk about all things related to the Indian guitar gear scene. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about my experience of the Sound Hammer pedal board, the mini pedal board that I've got. It's my travel rig along with my Strandberg. And yes, I did gig with it. So I have some thoughts on the entire build, the entire rig. All right, but before that, make sure you click that subscribe button and ring that bell to stay up to date with all our latest videos. Alright, so I'm going to show you now how snugly it fits in. I did keep the power supply cable underneath the board. This is an adapter because the power supply I think is one of those 3-pin international plugs. So, sort of works. This is pretty snug, okay, it fits pretty snug into it. Not complaining, it's quite good. Look at that, boys and girls, look at that. And look at the cable management behind, man. Look at that cable management. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. I love it. Okay, this is your cable. The front pouch, I've kept a couple of guitar cables, new trick silent cable, like when it's engaged, then you get the sound, otherwise quite good. So you can basically unplug your guitar, plug in a new guitar without having the sound guy screaming your ear off. What have you done? What have you done? And that's another emergency cable in case required. I never use it, so it usually stays in there. So yeah, so this is my travel rig. Now, let's talk about what I love about it, what I might change about it. Let me show you, all right? So you can see beautiful cable management, all right? I love it how the Zuma sits perfectly underneath. Now, when I first got this from Sound Hammer, I was like, Shilpa, why did you keep such high clearance? I just asked for a little bit more. And when I took it to a gig, I realized that, you know, I'm grateful that she did that because the ground was uneven, all right? It was a cemented ground, but not, you know, that flat cement. It was like that, you know, wobbly cement basically. To give it an effect. And yeah, I'm very happy that I had this much clearance because literally the cable could sit underneath, go across and not be damaged because there was that much clearance. So I really like the fact that there's that much clearance. It's almost like 2 inches, so maybe 1.5 inches, I don't know. I'll have to measure it and see. I'm happy she did that. It's a fabulous build in terms of you know, being able to take it around with you. Now let's talk about the pedals. Let's talk about the pros and cons of the setup. Okay, as you can see, it's sitting perfectly. Yes, it's a bit out. Okay, the collider is slightly out, slightly. That's not a deal breaker. It fits in the the gig bag perfectly. The Peterson. Let's start with the pedals. All right, the Peterson Strobo tuner is amazing. I mean, it is so accurate. Okay. I did want to fine-tune my Strandberg, and of course the tuners are fantastic, okay? It hardly ever goes out of tune, but still I had to, basically fine-tune them once or twice, and this was very accurate, okay? Literally, when it's showing on a, one of those clip-on tuners or on, even on Logic that it's in tune, this actually tunes it even further just a bit, it just gives you that perfect accuracy. I'm highly impressed with the Peterson guys building such an incredible tuner. The other thing also is that when I shared this build, I tagged everybody as you would do, on Instagram, and Peterson shared it, and so did a couple of the other companies, and they replied to the first video, the one that we've done for the plan of this build. If you haven't seen that, check it out. In that video, I basically showed you how Peterson provides a well cut out piece of tape so that you can basically attach your pedal to the pedal board. So they replied to the first video stating that when you do attach that 3 mm tape on the back of the pedal, make sure you remove the rubber for best results. So I thought I'd share that with you guys as well. So kudos to them for watching the video and liking the rig. Anyway, moving on. Fabulous. All right, I do want to remove this button and put it on this, and I'm going to put like the silver button that I have. I'll probably order one more of these buttons, because the problem with having these two non-transparent buttons on this particular pedal is that I couldn't see if it was on or not. So I definitely want this here. I'll get one more of these and put that there. Till then I'll manage. Anyway, Origin effects. This is the only pedal that I have not been able to really sit down and work on and understand properly. So I have a gig in a couple of days time, and I'm not going to use it much because frankly speaking, the boost on this is pretty responsive. The Dream 65 is an all-in-one pedal, to be honest with you. I mean, you literally don't need another overdrive pedal. You don't need another amp simulation pedal. It's everything in one. It's phenomenal. Okay, I love the sound. I usually go with the boost off and then I bring it up. I don't use a tremolo unless it's like really required, but I'm more of a chorusy kind of guy, and I use the Oxford speaker setting and the stock setting on the amp setting. Reverb usually is off when I use this, otherwise this basically to about here. All right, 1 o'clock, fantastic reverb, really good spring reverb. Okay, I put the gain a little bit low and I put the output a little bit high depending on what the sound guy wants. Okay, I've got the Corona chorus. It's like a lush chorus, and over here I've just created two settings. One is where I have a lush kind of a shimmer effect, and the other is where I have a hall reverb effect. Okay, both are fabulous, both sound great. Okay, so I have a choice of this hall reverb or this spring reverb. I like both. I think they're both useful and they both can serve their purposes. This is where I've got to till now. Okay, I definitely am going to create 5 presets. The other thing that I envisage myself doing is I am probably going to take this Corona up a bit. I don't know how I will figure that out. That's going to be a task. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to figure it out. Put this up here and maybe put this down a little bit more so I can get that wire in here, that connector in there. And put a kind of a foot switch over here, one of those Source Audio foot switches for the collider, where I can switch between the presets, because this preset selector button is like a massive pain in the bum, especially when you're playing and you're sitting and you have to go down and click it and go back up. But yeah, so that is something for the future. Origin effects, I can't make a call on it because literally I've not had to use it much. I think the gain is quite sufficient on this for my kind of playing. Of course, if I'm going into an amp, this is phenomenal. I've heard really good things about it. So it's got a very nice mid boost from what I was seeing. I'm yet to figure out whether or not I can get a kind of a chorus effect. There was a video I watched where you can get a chorus effect from this pedal by putting the delay knob on 0 and the feedback knob on 0, and it gives you a nice kind of a lush sounding chorus. Still gonna experiment with that and see for the future. Maybe might remove this and put a kind of an effects pedal, like maybe a synth or maybe even that 12th string pedal that I have, the Mosaic that I have on my other pedal board. Maybe put that there and put this there. I don't know, I'll see. Still to make a call, but I will give the Origin effects a really good chance. I'm going to definitely work with it. I do have an Origin effects, yeah, there it is, the compressor, Cali 76. Is that what it is? Let me just get it. Yeah, it's not in your frame. So yeah, the Cali 76. So I might just put that instead on this, because I could use a compressor in certain circumstances. Maybe, I'm not sure. Luckily, it's exactly the same size, so I can get by. Let's see. But I've heard very good things about this, so I want to give it a chance. I definitely want to experiment a bit more with this. The other thing about the Strandberg, what I loved was, I usually use two plectrums. I use a 1.5 John Petrucci Jazz 3 for when I'm playing single notes, and I use a 0.5 Tortex triangle plectrum for when I'm playing faster rhythms. Okay, I really enjoy those two. But on this, I actually played, I think, both the gigs just with my fingers. Okay, I was able to get some nice fast rhythms. I think in position 2 and position 4, I found a lot of nice tonal qualities with this product. So I'm very, very impressed with this. And if you're a singer and you have this, it's so easy to play. Okay, it's like normally if you have a larger guitar, you're playing here and this is the action, but you just like. Very nice, very easy to strum and very easy to sing along also. So for me as a singer-songwriter and a performer, definitely this rig is killer. It can be improved, it probably will be improved, and I think none of this would have been possible without Shilpa's ingenious pedal board. So double thumbs up to Shilpa for making this pedal board. Again, this is not a sponsored review. I have paid for this, so I am entitled to say whatever I like. Are there any things I think they can improve on? Right now, I think Soundhammer is just knocking it out of the park, so double thumbs up to this.